Aloha, beloved. This is MiraKle King, and we are truly in the Kamu. I am in the center of the Sacred Heart little pond, and I felt called in this moment to transmit a more graceful, heart-centered storyline of a little bit of just a personal narrative of how I got to this moment, to be here with all of you. The Communiversity portal is awakening inside your heart, awakening inside your body, awakening inside your spirit, and awakening inside your soul. And from the heart of the little heart, of the big, grand, unified union heart, to the heart of Pachamama, I truly, deeply feel inside the seat of my soul that there are so many of you around the world that are choosing to come back home right here. And I know that the digital landscape and the general social narrative of technology is such a ubiquitous aspect of our lives now. But I really want to deeply invite the personal story of your soul to come through, because I have chosen for a better half of my entire existence to search for the meaning of why humanity has incarnated into these challenging times, not only for our planet, but for future generations. And we are seeking as a collective to look far, far, far into the future, to the next 1,000 generations. And yet, in order to do that, we have to go 1,000 generations into the past, because the past and the future are one now. And all points in time are accessible. But I wanted to share a little bit of how my personal reality got me to this spot. And from my heart of hearts, I speak to your soul, and I say that the mentors that have inspired me, including my deep walkabout to create the New Earth Destiny documentary film, the grassroots movie about how good men and good women, inspired by a mystic woman in the Siberian backwater, the Great Cedar Forests, over 25 to 30 years ago, in the former Soviet Union of Russia, inspired hundreds of eco-villages to come together, and many, many good men and good women in Russia to come together. And I got to experience that firsthand with the author Vladimir Megre, and go over there and experience firsthand not only the eco-villages, but feel Anastasia's ray of consciousness and be inspired by her huge desire for the whole entire planet to come back to Pachamama, to come back to Gaia. And so I was one of the first to bridge this back in 2007, 2008. And go over there and experience firsthand these amazing souls in small bodies at that time. 300 souls who created their own communiversity from scratch. And now there's over 3 or 4 new iterations being built in Russia alone. The Lyceum School and the children there inspired me so deeply at a galactic soul level. If you can imagine children creating their own new type of edutainment, educational, galactic university. And they were a big part of my initial inspiration when I first started Communiversity 1.0. to keep going the distance, to come back in Rainbow Bridge, Russia, back to America. And I want to also honor that most of you don't know that I spent so many years with my Venerable Chohje Rinpoche, this beautiful, amazing Tibetan master that was transmitting the codes of the golden Buddhas and the 1,002 Buddhas of this good Kalpa, and the Buddhas of the 10 direction, and the Buddhas of the past, the present, and the future now. The Venerable Chohje Rinpoche. And his inspiration led me onto a journey of remembering my past lives in the Himalayas, in the caves, and in the monasteries. And I spent 3 years traveling around with him and my beloved and doing this work, 8 to 10 hour practices a day. And so from this place, this 3-year commitment propelled me at a very early age to come back into the heart of the Buddha, to come back into the heart of Dzogchen, the great perfection, the fullest, the deepest, and most expanded and contracted version of noble life Tantra. I also just wanted to personally give thanks to Kahu Kahuna Poni, who was my dear Kahu, the kahuna of my Lemurian Mu heart in Kauai, who inspired me to walk the path of the sacred spirit hula, to do the olis, the pule, the chants, the prayers of the sacred hula, the dance of the ancient culture of Hawaii and Hawaii, which tracks all the way back to Mu, the great civilization of Mu, which now in Mount Shasta, in this moment, we are birthing through the Lemurian consciousness, which was the daughter of Mu. Mu is the grandmother. And so this deep feminine upwelling of the mother principles coming up as we see and we feel the patriarchal, old, dark, negative, malevolent aspects of the technocratic, disconnected science of Atlantis moving through this heart of America. And we are at a crescendo right now to walk the middle way of this paradox. And I know for some of you it's very difficult. And I know for some of you, you think things are just going to get back to normal. But I say to you, that is an illusion, and that it is time to move into full survival. And more than ever, as I honor the 3 codes of Anastasia, Tibetan Buddhism, and Chohje Rinpoche, and my walkabout with Kahu Kahuna Poni. And these 3 energies have propelled me into a lot of what I have co-created with others to form the basis and the foundation of the coherent living model. How to collectively organize and self-govern so that we can move into this open source mystery school process and have a stable, thriving platform and foundation for all the changes that are going to come up for every individual. And yet change becomes the fertilizer. The shadow in the change becomes the fertile ground for beautiful, intelligent seeds to be planted. And it is time to plant the seeds together. It's time to grow and be watered together, and to allow the sun and allow the space of this heart, the space of this love and this compassion and this wisdom body to flourish, so that we can empower each other and help protect those seeds and that new life, so that the future generations and the children of tomorrow, and the souls in those little bodies can have a space to flourish beyond the technocratic blundering that's happening all around us. So I invite you from this really sweet space today to remember that your personal narrative in your story of whatever you've created and all the trials and tribulations, and whether you're in success right now or you're moving out of failure, that all of this is so key to you bringing your soul to its next collective soul inner evolutionary pattern, and that we can be and do this together. And I am in a full surrendered position, and I have been as I've become MiraKle. And many of you have known me, and many of you who've known me from who I was before in past life, in this life, and other lifetimes. I'm going to invite you and continue to invite you until you feel this call to move and merge into your own beloved within and take action. Take amazing, incredible, empowered action to move beyond the story of what you've created in the materialistic matrix system. Because you could be making $1 million right now, you could be at zero, and guess what? It's not going to matter when the earth starts to change very gently and yet very quickly and potentially very dramatically very soon. And whether that happens tomorrow, and whether that happens in 10 years, or that happens in the next 15, 20, Pachamama is speaking to all of us to come home. And the question is who do you want to be with when you come home? And yes, many of you are flowing and changing and transforming right now. But stable ground comes from this place of enlightened heart sovereignty and meeting, as we say in Tibetan Buddhism, and I've said for many years, the Sangha, the community, the group unit principle is the most important thing that you will engender and endear yourself, because this is not the time of the lone wolf any longer. This is the time for all the animals to come together. And the humans with the animals and all the other kingdoms are coming together, all 7 kingdoms. So I want to invite you to move out of the citadels and move out of the 5G and the technocratic blunderings and manipulations and control and malevolent artificial intelligence, and choose right now that you can still use technology, but in a way that's benevolent. That there are ways that you can walk the middle way through the paradox, and you can come home to nature. So that nature and God and the universe and the Mother Father that's right here, right now, and come back to this glory, this beauty way. And the invitation right here, this stillness, is truly Kamu, the 0 point code, the transmission of the great silence after union, which truly births the universe. So if you feel like birthing universes with your ohana and your family, reach out. We are here. And there is so much love for you in these challenging times. And you don't have to go into fear and only survival. You can collectively come together with a lot of us who are thriving together. Mahalo Keakua. Blessings on your journey and so much love on this beautiful day.